Question 1. There are some red counters and some blue counters in a bag. And the ratio of red counter to blue counter is 3:1. 2 counters are removed at random. The probability that both the counters taken are blue is 1/20. Work out how many counters were in the bag before any counters were removed. Right, so we've got the ratio here. The ratio is saying 3:1. So if you say, we don't know what the number of counters are, but I know they're 3:1. So if I call that 3 times x and 1 times x. So we can now say 3x for red counter and x for blue counter. So red counter we got 3x and blue counter we got x because they're 3:1. Right, so the total will be 3x plus x, and that should be equal to 4x, and that's the total in a bag. What we now need to do is find x. Okay, so we are taking from the bag. Initially we start with, say we start with 3x. So the first, if we to take red, it would be 3x over 4x. That would be the ratio of taking the first red. So that would be red. And to take this first blue, well, that's x over 4x. So first blue will be x over 4x. And then next point here, if we're going to take another red, so we're going to get, because we've taken 1 from that, so we're going to have 3x minus 1. That's what will be left over 4x. And that's for red. But if we're taking the blue from there, and that's for blue, is going to be x over 4x minus 1. Because we are taking, so that would be 4x minus 1, by the way. So, because we haven't taken any blue at all, we haven't taken any blue, so that would be x, that would be the first blue, so that would be x over 4x minus 1. Minus 1 is what's left. 4x minus 1 is what's left after taking 1 out. And so that would be the blue. If we take another blue out, or let's say if we take another blue from there, we're going to get, well, x minus 1, because we've already taken 1 blue out, over 4x minus 1. But if we take a red out, so we take blue and then a red, well, so that would be x minus 1, 3x, that would be just 3x. So that would be 3x over 4x minus 1. So that's if we take a red out. So you have to be careful in doing this. This is where the problem will be. And so now we've been given that the probability that both the counter taken out are blue is 1/20. So that bit here is going to be 1/20. The first blue and the second blue, so that's 1/20. So we could use that equation to solve for x. we could use that path here to solve for x. So the first one we're going to use is this path. We're going to use that path here because we know those results. So we're going to use that. Okay, so let's do that. So we now know that x over 4x times, so times that bit by that one, x minus 1 over 4x minus 1, and that should be equal to 1 over 20. So what we can do now is the x will cancel x, so we will get 1 over 4 times x minus 1 over 4x minus 1 equals to 1 over 20. So what we want to do now is make these, just multiply them together, because that's what's going to happen. So we're going to get 1 times that and that times that. So we would get x minus 1. 1 times x minus 1 is x minus 1 over 4 into bracket 4x minus 1. So that's what we get there. And that will be equal to 1 over 20. And now, so what we could do is cross multiply, or multiply both sides by 20 and multiply both sides by 4 into bracket 4x minus 1. Or what I would say is cross multiply that by that and multiply that by that. So that's what I call cross multiply, which means I will get 20 into bracket x minus 1 will be equal to 4, well, that's 4 times 1, so 4 into bracket 4x minus 1. So that's the equation we will get. We need to expand this lot, and so we get 20 times x, 20x, minus 20 times minus 1 is minus 20, equals to 4 times 4x is 16x, 4 times minus 1 is minus 4. Okay, so now we need to solve this. Take away 16x from both sides, or move 16x to that side and move 20 to that. So that would be minus 16, so that would be 20x minus 16x equal to 20 minus 4. 20 minus 16 is 4x equal to 16. And therefore, x will be equal to 16 over 4, and that equals to 4. Because x is equal to 4, then the equation says work out how many counters were in the bag before any counters were removed. We know that the total were 4x in the bag. So since 4x is in the bag, we made the total. Therefore, it will be 4 times 4, because x is 4, and that equals 16. So the answer is 16.